Hey everybody, it's Minius with a third of 7 videos looking at each of the profiles in Mass Effect Andromeda, along with a couple of suggested builds, and this time I'm looking at the Adept profile, and wow, there are a whole bunch of ways to play biotically in Andromeda, confirming again that this game's customizable combat is one of its best aspects. Equipping the Adept profile increases biotic force, area of effect damage and radius, biotic duration, and biotic combo bonuses. Each statistical bonus is increased depending on the rank of your Adept profile, which you can increase by spending points on biotic trees and abilities. The more points you spend, the higher your rank. Equipping Adept also changes all of your movement animations to biotics. Instead of a jump jet, you will use biotics to jump and evade. And the Adept profile also comes with the Biotic Echoes perk, which means biotic combos can set off additional explosions upon touching each enemy. And in keeping with the biotic explosion tradition, my first 2 builds are based around getting those biotic explosions. Take full advantage of the Biotic Echoes perk, and these builds appear very similar, except they're played almost completely different. The first is more of a ranged build made up of Singularity, Lance, and Throw, Singularity serving as the primer for the detonator abilities of Lance and Throw. And obviously Singularity can serve to completely disable your opponents, at least the weak ones, dangling them helplessly and making them very easy targets to detonate with your other 2 abilities, but Singularity also primes those larger armored or shielded targets even if it can't pick them up, which means they're opened up for biotic explosions. Place a Singularity between you and your enemies, and they'll be forced to go through a wall of damage and biotic explosions to get to you. Also keep in mind that Singularity can be ended early. If you've cleared out the area, hold down the button you used to activate Singularity to cancel it, so you can bring in another sooner. The second build of Annihilation, Lance, and Throw appears almost identical, except you need to get in close to take advantage of Annihilation's damaging and priming field. Basically, Lance and Throw are the 2 best biotic detonators, and go with the primers on other stuff. This build is the spiritual successor to the N7 Fury multiplayer character from Mass Effect 3. There's actually an Asari character in the new multiplayer with these exact 3 abilities. I captured this footage on normal for visual purposes. If you're playing on a harder difficulty, running around in the open like this is gonna chew you up. So you're gonna want to take advantage of cover, slide in close, and then blow everybody up. This build is a ton of fun. A couple more notes though, Annihilation is a dangerous ability, not just for your enemies, but for you. It will destroy any destructible cover and will lift up objects, including explosive barrels, which could then get you in trouble. So be aware when you're using Annihilation, and also note that if you try to scan something while Annihilation is active, it will end it, and you'll need to restart it back up. The third build is possibly the most fun in the game, and it's based around the pull and throw combination. And I'm sure you've seen this before, but you can pull enemies or objects, hold them at your side, and then throw them at other enemies, or off cliffs, or into the air, or whatever. Now, I have serious doubts about how effective this combination actually is. In reality, detonating a single pulled enemy from far away might actually be better, but the point of games is to have fun, and throwing enemies around is fun. Perhaps for a third ability along with pull and throw, you should consider Backlash, which puts up this damage-reflecting shield, allowing you to protect yourself while your cooldowns recharge. And really, Backlash can be the staple of any build. You can use it to shield yourself while waiting for any abilities to recharge, including the longer ones like Singularity or Shockwave. And this is where your Adept options really open up. Many of the biotic abilities you have available work well together, and every build benefits from having a personal shield that allows you to wait for those cooldowns. My final suggested Adept build is based around Biotic Charge, being used to detonate primed targets. Try equipping Charge with Pull and Singularity, and you'll frequently be able to prime enemies to charge into for massive explosive damage. And these 3 can be chained in fun ways thanks to Charge's quick cooldown. throw a Singularity, charge in and blow people up, then use Pull on an enemy in a safer spot, and then charge away and blow them up. Since this video is about the Adept profile, you'll want to make sure that you're taking advantage of that biotic combo explosion damage. Using charge more traditionally fits the Vanguard profile, and if you want to charge to set up melee or additional in-close attacks, there are other profiles that fit that better. But as far as the Adept profile goes, it helps to try and use your biotic combo explosions in the vicinity of other enemies. Be sure to time your detonator abilities so you can take the most advantage of the Biotic Echoes perk. The last thing you need to keep in mind, and this feels more like a default warning now, mix and match your abilities however you feel like. Each ability has its uses, and your goal should be to find something that is both comfortable to use and fun for you to use. Of course, biotics can be sprinkled throughout any build, including 3 of the final 4 profiles, which I will have videos on coming soon. But if you like this video, please give it a like. It really helps out the channel. Keep an eye on MiniusGC for more builds and other Mass Effect videos. But for now,
have a pleasant day.